This movie tells a story about a devoted couple whose quiet weekend takes a bizarre turn when a nightmarish cult and their crazy leader come to fulfill an apocalyptic prophecy. This movie is not big on fresh ideas, as it's merely going down the checklist of death cult generic plot points. The filmmakers hope to support the ideas through atmosphere, as the direction is atmospheric with a sense of dread and danger. Unfortunately, there's not enough of the spooky stuff to keep this movie compelling. The movie is keeping frightening events or anything involving movement rather sporadic. The filmmakers also pursuing a directorial exercise with the picture, not interested in storytelling needs. The script is frustratingly rote, and for most viewers it will come across as both familiar and silly. The movie starts rather slow as it tries to build a sense of suspense. The opening act is padded with inconsequential encounters and conversations, and things really slow down during the ride to Frank's residence. The initial scenes at the plantation generate a note of foreboding, although some of the details are the stuff of cliché. But for all the effectiveness of these initial scenes, the narrative eventually must kick into high gear. This is when the movie even stumbles more. They look out the window to find a torch-wielding, masking-wearing cult surrounding them. The second half becomes a standoff, but the confrontation between the two sides is a story thread this movie has trouble maintaining. Once the cult arrives outside the plantation, horror should follow, but the movie holds back as it put that off with lots of time-filling incident. There's a distraction with the arrival of concerned neighbor, also the long stretches of some sort of psychic connection between Grace and the cult that fail to add much to the story. The narrative begins to meander, trying to find reasons to keep the standoff going. Grace and Jack go in and out of the house, always running into some obstacle that prevents them from leaving. The movie isn't doing anything new when it comes to selling frights, as it often goes for cheap jolts to get a reaction, and the chapter format of the effort is pointless. It's all a tired retreat of various horror tropes. In terms of the cult, we don't get enough opportunity to understand the inner workings of the cult, their operations, or their motivations. It's all explained hazily, skimmed over without ever getting into the details. An exposition dump occurs at the hour mark, identifying the situation, but it's not enough to animate the future, as it's leading to an unsatisfying climax. Overall, this movie has nothing new or exciting to add to this take on death cults. It's not that scary either. We do not recommend this movie at all.